Jim Romer, Dr. Weather, going to talk about the 2022 Tonga volcano, the underwater volcano in the Western Pacific, climate change, why La Nina hasn't actually formed yet, very weak if it happens at all the next few months, and its impact on commodities. Don't let this hat fool you. No, I'm not some rebel from the 1960s. I'm more like a dunce, I guess. Anyway, we're going to be talking about this warm pool in the Western Pacific, the largest heat engine of the world. And that warming created by both volcanic eruptions, also CO2, climate change, in my opinion, certainly, and the opinion of 99% of all world's degreed scientists, is a reason that La Nina has been slow to form. One reason we had a bear market in grains last summer, folks, I mentioned last May and June, no La Nina summer and a bear market. Many farmers and traders of mine, clients of Weather Wealth, hopefully took advantage of that hedging. Corn was $4.50, beans around $11, that kind of thing. So this is what's happening right now with that warming over the Western Pacific, cooling waters near Peru, trying to move further west. If that happens, La Nina would form, and its impacts could be huge. It could affect Argentina's soybean production adversely in the next few months. It could affect the wheat crops around the world, but we'll talk about that here in a minute. What does the Western Pacific warm pool have to do with commodities? So the northern Brazil drought has eased. All right, so that's a good situation for coffee. There's been irreversible damage from 9 months of drought, creating coffee volatility, actually getting too wet in West Africa for the main crop harvest. But with time, cocoa production could actually rebound deeper into 2025. And we see generally how palm oil production is actually tends to improve. Sugar there, second down, tends to see better sugar growth. Right now, there's been concern about forest fires and all sorts of recent wet weather now replacing that drought to sugar in Brazil, helping that market. Cocoa prices also being affected by wet weather, but longer term, the weather could improve for cocoa. And also, coffee production, though it's wet in Vietnam right now for the harvest, cocoa or coffee production could actually rebound here as we get deeper into 2024 and 2025. The drought in the plains wheat areas is going to be easing, so I can't say I'm bullish Kansas City wheat by any means. Certainly, it's a long growing season, but that warm Pacific pool I just mentioned actually creating improved rainfall with El Nino neutral conditions, not a La Nina yet, folks. And that is a reason that wheat prices may not rally here sharply. Otherwise, we'd have a major situation on our hands here over the next few months. Commodities that have been affected over the last month or so by the stronger dollar, by various weather events. Cocoa prices have been rallying on it being too wet in West Africa, but longer term, that could be a bearish situation. Coffee broke in the easing of the Brazil drought, but still irreversible damage, trying to figure out the size of the crop from 9 months of drought, and also the stronger dollar. Sugar, big crops in India, big crops in Thailand. The drought easing in Brazil could eventually be bill of sugar, but there's been concern with the 2025 sugar crop in Brazil. The fires a month ago causing concern. Now it being too wet for the harvest. Grain prices hurt, as you know, by demand worries for a long time. The great Midwestern crops, the drought easing in northern Brazil, the stronger dollar, a little bit of a short covering rally in soybeans right now. Seasonally, that actually happens. What's going to happen, though, a month or two down the road? Do you buy soybeans and corn? Do you trade futures and options from the long or short side? That's what we do here at Weather Wealth. Get an old issue of my newsletter there for free about the drought easing in Brazil that I predicted a month and a half to 2 months ago, or a free trial. If you have not had one, folks, you get a free trial. The Weather Wealth will help you learn how to trade commodities on the weather. How do you hedge? How do we second guess models? Very inexpensive service. Hedge funds pay tens of thousands of dollars a year for this. Enjoy.